What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Pat Outdoors. Today we're going to be working on my 2022 Kawasaki KLX140RF. I just want to work on the aesthetics, make it look a little bit more aggressive. So I'm going to be taking off some of the panels and vinyl wrapping them gloss black, just to add a more uniform, sleek look to it. So if you are interested in learning how to do that, stay tuned and I'm going to walk you through how it's done. Vinyl wrapping doesn't just change the look of the bike, but it also adds a level of protection. I've had this bike for about 6 months now, and I've dropped it here and there on some trail rides. So you'll notice that there's some deep scratches on the side panels, even on the original decals here. On the other side, you see this plastic panel is pretty scuffed up. If I had a layer of vinyl on top of these panels, I could have simply taken them off a year later and the surface would look new again. So that's what we're going to be doing today. The first step is to remove the panels you want to wrap off the bike, since it's much easier to get the vinyl pulled around the edges that way. For these rear panels, it's just one 8mm bolt here, and then you pull the panel off a grommet up here. It should slide right off. For these front side panels, it's just 8mm here, 8mm here, and 2 small Phillips screws attaching into the upper panel. I'm not going to be wrapping this one, so we're not going to be taking this one off today. I want to wrap this one black, and this top panel on my Polysport headlamp. If you have the front standard number plate, it's just one 10mm bolt in the center and should pull upwards. But if you have a headlight like this, it looks like it should just pull upwards. So just be careful with that. It turns out there's some hidden screws up here that keep this panel mounted to this one. So I'm gonna have to remove the seat to access that, which is just one 10mm bolt on each side. And then you should be able to pull the seat upwards and slide it back. And then you just remove the fuel cap to take this top panel off, and then we can get to those back screws. I really like how simple this bike is to work on. You can probably remove all the plastics in less than 15 minutes once you've done it before. They just slide into each other with these plastic tabs and then secure in place with screws. It's very, very simple to put together. But these are going to be the 5 panels that we're going to be wrapping today. So we're going to thoroughly clean them, and then we're going to get to wrapping. And for the vinyl wrapping portion, these are all the tools that we're going to be using today. Just a heat gun to help reform and stretch the vinyl. It also helps promote adhesion. The squeegee to help press it down against the plastic surface. I'm just using a box cutter, but you can use another trim tool like an X-Acto knife to trim along the edges. And a marker and some scissors, because I'm actually going to cut out templates to get a general idea of how much vinyl we're going to be needing. Since I don't actually have that much vinyl, this is just some leftover 3M 1080 series vinyl that I got from my buddy David, leftover from his Subaru. I don't think we have enough to actually wrap the whole bike, but this is all I wanted anyway. just to give you an idea of what that looks like before I start trimming the edges. I start by laying down the main surface, and then I heat up the edges and pull the vinyl over the corner so you get around those curves. And then I fold them on the back side to hold them in place. And then I'm gonna trim all this excess material off. And here's how it ended up looking like. I think it looks a lot better this way. The front panel almost looks like a windshield. It's not perfect though. As you see, the inside portion of this handle I had to cut out since it tore while I was trying to stretch it to cover the whole inside. And unfortunately, I don't have any more material, so I'll just have to redo that panel at a later time. But overall, I think it turned out pretty nice. The edges tucked up nicely between the panels. That's how it looks. I might end up redoing the whole bike a different color at some point. I just kind of wanted to get an idea what this would look like. All right, guys, if you are interested in checking out any of the items that I used for today's project, I'll leave a link in the description where you can get everything. But if you found today's video helpful in any way, do me a favor and hit that like button. And if you like this kind of content, want to keep up with some of my projects, such as the KLX140RF, my Yamaha, or my mini e-motos, consider subscribing to this channel. But this is going to be it for today. Thank you for watching.